Greetings, humanity. I'm Jim, and this is not Zork 2 like we were going to do earlier today. Alas, that is not what we are in fact doing. Actually, I'm only going to hear the same music over and over again if I have the headphones on. So I'll go ahead and take them off since I know what's playing. Hi. So I decided to since I've got a little bit of work I wanted to get done anyway. I figured I'd go ahead and do that with us now, in case anyone would like a little bit of a preview of this game that I've been working on for goodness knows how long. Too long. I always take a very long time with game designs. I'm not sure why that is. Because I take a long time with everything. That's probably why that is. So I figured I'll do that, and I think maybe I'll do that for a little bit, and then I think I'm actually going to end up heading over to another adventure game. I'm probably going to end up doing Sherlock, the Sherlock Holmes game I've been playing. But I figured first, I'll just do this for a little bit. So the game that I have been working on for a little while is the thing I am calling 1 Year Hence. It is a... what is it? It's a Descended from the Queen game that I am that is kind of a it's a Green Knight variant on For the Queen, essentially. Here, let me go ahead and I'll show the thing. I assume this is the right. This is the banner that I've that I came up with for it. At present, that's sort of the banner ad that I use from time to time when I am showing it off to people. It's not ready yet. I'm in right now. I'm on iteration 0.4. If that gives you any idea as to where things are with it. So that's pretty much where I am. Let me actually see if I can. Oh, let me move myself. I am on the wrong side of the screen to show this properly. Here we are. Because you might want to look at the little things in the bottom right hand corner. This is GIMP, the program that I use when I'm working on this, and so I'm gonna basically show you a few things that I'm doing in it, and work on some things while we're here. While we're here in this space together, I'm gonna work on some things. I will go ahead, I guess, and put these on and listen to the music a little bit, since it's soothing. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on this for a little while, and we can talk about it if you wish while I'm doing it. As I figure, we'll see if this helps motivate me to actually work on it, to have like someone staring at me while I'm doing it. We'll see. You're welcome to. So this is the banner for it that I use from time to time. So the thing that I'm working on right now are what I refer to as touchstone cards. I actually can probably show through the playmat that I've been working on. Actually, I can tackle this first. So the current iteration of the game, or the one that's I'm gonna be play testing in a little bit, for relative, in a little bit is a relative term here, has a few different phases to it. Basically, it's sort of the premise of this. Hi, Prax. Hi. We're doing a kind of an odd, chill sort of design stream for a little while until, and then I may switch over to adventure gaming. Basically, because it turns out that we're not doing. Lucci could not make it, unfortunately, so we cannot play Zork 2 until he is back. And this is the playmat that I'm working on right now for it. So the idea, basically, it's like For the Queen. Yeah, chill afternoon streaming is cool. I enjoy that, if I can do it. I'm finding, apparently I enjoy doing it, so I've been doing a little more of it. So, the sort of the premise of this is that everyone is playing someone who, and Prax, you've playtested this. This is for the 0.4 version. This is essentially a game where everyone is playing someone who has been challenged by the Green Knight. For anyone who knows the story of the Green Knight, this is basically the Arthurian legend, where Sir Gawain gets challenged by this sort of eldritch entity of nature. It depends on what version you're reading or watching or whatever. On its some versions have it as as on New Year's Eve, some have it on Christmas or Christmas Eve. Depends, right? Because these are stories, they get passed down, they change. So this entity shows up, this entity that seems to be possibly one with nature, just identified as the Green Knight. There's this sort of challenge that, take up my axe and I will, and you get one free shot at me. And in a year, I get to do the same to you. And so Gawain takes the axe and cuts off the Green Knight's head. The Green Knight then stands up, the body stands up, picks up the head, and then sort of announces, "Great, let's do this again in a year," and heads off. And Gawain then has to go to travel to the chapel of the Green Knight in a year's time, and let the Green Knight cut off his head. So that's the basic story, and there have been a lot of different versions of it. So in this idea, the idea is actually one also that so there was a tie-in RPG that happened when the movie came out not too long ago. The Green Knight film. That came out just recently. I don't know if folks saw it. In 2021, it says, time works very differently now. But Dev Patel was in that. Alicia Vikander. It was delightfully weird, and I kind of want to do. There's certain aspects of this game that are inspired by that weirdness, and it's moving more that way the more I do this. But it's also, just sort of inspired by the original legend. I've been kind of a fan of the legend for a while. And so the idea is that the tie-in RPG that came along when that movie came out, or before that movie came out, was the thing they were doing to you'd have like four or five characters that were all had been challenged by the Green Knight and were journeying to the Green Chapel. And this is a similar idea, but this is in For the Queen format, basically. I have not actually read or played that other game. I just heard about it, and I was like, that sounds cool. But that's kind of the premise here, is that you have been challenged by the Green Knight, and it's just it's a way of sort of unfolding the information about your various characters and what and your characters' relationships to each other in much the same way For the Queen is, because I thought that would be pretty cool. And at the end, you just sort of have to answer the question: do you let you're in the Green Chapel? Do you let the Green Knight strike? And that's it. That's the Queen is under attack card, basically. Now, in this case, what I've ended up doing, so we have the X card, which is also in For the Queen. We have prompts, which, that's, you answer questions about yourself and about the environment, and add to the story as we go on. I have these cards that I call Touchstone cards, and they're symbols, different images that you can use to interpret to sort of help give you inspiration for things. Folks can use those to help inspire the kind of character they are if they want. They can also use it to help answer questions about, or to give them ideas about the sort of kingdom they're in. sort of form that the knight takes. The last playtest that I did, the knight ended up being a minotaur, which was pretty cool. And I've just added seasons. At the recommendation of some players, I thought they thought it would be good to split the game up into acts. We tried 3 acts in the last playtest, and it became very quickly apparent to me that I needed a 4th act. Actually, well, I say a 4th act. It was the 3-act structure I had. The first act was kind of getting to know yourself and your companions and stuff that's closer, to the beginning of the journey. Second act was more questions you get asked that are more along the way, things happening on the journey. And then the final act was as you get closer to the Green Chapel and things get weirder. And so for this, I realized I needed to split up the who am I and the how do I engage with my companions phases. And so it's 4 acts, and that works out well for seasons. Which, kind of like in my head, sort of in design, I was thinking about, once again, a different game that also uses cards. I was thinking about The Quiet Year, which also uses seasons. Lots of games use seasons. But, so another idea I had was that you could put a touchstone down at the beginning of each season to sort of give you basically more prompt fodder, essentially, things that kind of help define things about that season. And it's going to be very weird and very vague, and you'll understand that when you see the prompt cards. And that's actually kind of why I'm here, is I'm sort of working on the prompt cards because I'm adding captions to them. Because some of them are not quite as clear. Things took a turn when I started adding captions, and I'll explain that in a minute, in a little bit. But first, I'm thinking I'm going to tackle the seasons card. As you may have noticed, this is kind of not in theme with the rest of these because it's much brighter, it's much warmer color, much brighter color, and it's not working completely for me after a fashion. This actually, by itself, I think looks pretty decent, but I think needs to be adjusted. And so I'm going to do that. Luckily, I don't think it will take terribly long because I had another thing in mind. I tried out a bunch of stuff. And this is kind of where I am now. But I'm going to go ahead and get that appropriately centered if I can. Let me turn off some things to make that work. Turn everything off. Okay, there we go. Hold of it there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put it there. Sort of covering over that layer. Did we change the size of some of this? I don't know, something weird's going on. I'll figure it out. Here we go. So that does kind of make it darker. But also does stand out quite a bit. Doesn't really matter whether it's in front of... I had it set to linear burn. Let me see if I want to play with it to darken only. Yeah, that's not doing it. There are going to be several moments while we're looking at this. That's better. Just going to go through these settings while figuring it out, because there was a thing that actually looked pretty cool. It was pretty dark, though. I'm trying to think if there's a thing that's going to look better. Because I want to darken this. Ooh. I will never find it again. There was a setting. I promise it existed. I found it. I found it. I don't know where it is. Let me see. Let me go back up earlier. I don't think it's going to be any of these, but you never know. One never does. Lighten Luma screen. It's interesting because I thought it was a darkening setting, but maybe I have been looking at the wrong thing. I don't know. Let me see. See, linear burn is not bad. I just don't want it to be quite... I have this set to linear light currently. Let me switch up this layer underneath. Yeah, that's moving in a more of a direction that might be good. That might work. That might work for our purposes. I'm trying to, as you can probably tell, I'm trying to go with natural colors for a lot of this. And so, I don't know, what do you think? I think this might do it. It's at least closer. Yeah, that's what I was listening. I'm thinking of Rusty Leaves, right? But let me see what these other settings do. I like that. I know it's a little bit spotty, but I don't want it to get too dark. Meaning I'm also creating some... That's interesting. That's kind of an interesting hue, or sort of an interesting mix, I should say. This might be it. This might be it. Between that and dark and yeah, because I like seeing the grain in there. I've got like several layers on top of layers basically. These are what I'm doing here in case anyone was wondering. I've got it sort of over a natural stone looking layer. I'm kind of using stone for all of, well, not this one. This one I couldn't make stone work, so I just went with the water. But these I kind of went sort of more stone. This is even, I think, wood on stone. I like burn. Linear burn's a little darker than I want. Burn might win it. Overlay. Not terrible. When I have this again, that's at linear burn, that's at soft light. Hard light. It's a decision. So hard light versus burn. Because, I mean, to a certain extent, this game has a degree of darkness about it, obviously. Let me kind of decide if this fits with these. You know, I think that of these two, this fits better with the rest of these than hard light does, than the hard light setting. Vivid light, pin light, which is very similar. Burn is a hair darker. Pin light might work. And then we get into, let's not go transparent. And we get all these settings. Green merge. And we have the various hue settings. I mean, I can see, that's a little too red. I mean, they're just sort of by itself. I could see something like, I could see something like one of these. This was the one that I liked. Burn was the one that I liked. We compare that to the hue here. The hue is slightly lighter, a little softer. And I think for now we're going to just go for broke and go with burn. I think that feels the best to me right now. Not linear burn. That's a little too much. Is it though? How dark shall we go? Can we get this? We just plunge the whole thing into absolute darkness. Yeah, it's not a horror game outright. So I think that's the best balance for what we're looking for right now. I think this will work. I think this will work. For now, until I change my mind again. So let me go ahead and save this version of the playmat. And we'll kind of go from there. And so I think that works. Okay. Let me go ahead and get to the part that has been plaguing my mind today. And that's the touchstones. So here's what I've got so far. I've transferred 10 of them. There are 46 touchstone cards because I could not stop myself. So like, I came up with a bunch of these things, right? And so like, I guess let me show you before I even do this. I'll show you the previous version of these without anything on them. You can see already we have an alligator. Because I was just grabbing a bunch of things that I thought would be neat. I tried to go with things that could be heraldic, could be just, but not even that, just things that folks could use to help sort of identify both themselves and the other things that were vague enough that it could be like, okay, if we apply this to, like, say you get an alligator card and you're talking about a kingdom, it's like, okay, this kingdom is somewhere that is maybe very, in a warmer climate with swamps, that kind of thing. If you even want to call this an alligator, maybe you call it a crocodile and say that it's by the ocean. You could do it that way. A lot of different ways you could interpret it. If it's the knight, then we don't, maybe the knight is an anthropomorphic alligator, or maybe it means they're just certain qualities. Where the green knight this time is beast. I mean, this is just the first card, and it starts with the letter A. That was how I had it in my spreadsheet. You put it on seasons, though. I don't know exactly what that means. Will you run into an alligator? Will you run into something else? Or is it just, are you if you're passing through a marshy area? I don't know. But those are things that people can use, sort of help them bounce off things in their cards. If they drew it for their own personal card, you can draw like a couple of these. And again, let me go ahead and I'll open another one or two of these just to sort of give an idea. Let's say you got like, I'm not sure what this is. You're an alligator with money. Or, rather, you keep exotic pets. Maybe. That's something you can, you know, as a thing that folks could start deciding about their character. Or bring one from later in the list. What's this one? The sword. I mean, any number of things here, but you know, it's like you, depending on if it's like with the sword and money, it's like, you know, you could say that you're a knight or a noble or something like that. You have the sword and the alligator, then that means that you have a very particular, maybe you have a particular heraldic sort of banner you fight under, or maybe there's just something about nature in particular that's bound into your ideals that you're fighting for, but or you could be a sellsword. It just depends on kind of you know, how you want to interpret it. They're supposed to be vague enough that you can interpret them in a lot of different ways. Let me just check, as I see there are things coming in. Okay. Occasionally I get messages coming in. I see who that's from, so that's fine. Okay. Good. I will look at those things later. So you get the idea, presumably, about what it is that we're looking at. I did like the first 10 of them. I did the first 10 of them already. I've sort of moved them across, or I started to get variations on. So I mean, you know, you see these tiny symbols here, but you know, I had bats, right? And I had a bird. I wanted the most generic looking bird I can find. This is actually a seagull, as it turns out. You know, a book. And I had like a bow and arrow. And I had a bull. I had the coins, which you already saw. I had a compass rose. And I had a cup. The outline of a cup, and I had a deer. And I picked the most sort of heraldic looking deer image I could find, I think, or just the most neutral looking deer image, but also slightly creepy, because that was sort of also the plan. Because I want it to be a little bit weird, right? The thing is, now, getting into 0.4, I will show you what happened. Because I'm not completely sure what happened. But I started off and I called this the alligator. And I was just like, there's a swamp card here later in particular that seems to be, I think, the hardest one to figure out what is this image. And so I wanted to put captions on it just to help out a little bit and give more of an idea. And then I realized, you know, what I'm doing by adding these captions is considerably different from what it could be. And so I was like, you know, okay, these are the bats. And I started to think almost in terms of like, okay, are these tarot-like cards? What exactly is the deal with these? And I had the book, because I put the in front of a lot of these because I was thinking again in terms of how and it's funny, right? Because if you look at a set of tarot cards, it doesn't have the. It's usually necessarily, sometimes it does, I guess, depends on the set, but you know, we refer to things as like the as like the fool or the magician, or you know, the Hierophant, that kind of thing. And you know, a lot of them do. And so I kind of was putting that in my head. So here's what happened when I got to the 10th card. Because I was like, do I want to call number 10 the deer? That's not terribly exciting. Do I want to call it? It doesn't. The deer doesn't seem terribly exciting to me. The stag doesn't seems like it might work out better. But then again, I'm like, well, I mean, I don't want to limit it to the stag. And then this happened. Where this is the horned creature, which is actually kind of closer to what I was. I'm spilling my tea everywhere. Stop throwing your mug around, Jim. This is... Why did you do that? But yeah, it was a thing where it was just like, I'm not sure exactly where this happened in my head, but at some point, part of the reason I chose this image, and I think that in the first place was because I wanted it to be able to represent more than necessarily just a deer, right? You see a picture that is very clearly a deer, then I feel like that's a little bit more limiting when you're improvising, trying to bounce off the idea, figure out what it is, than if you see something like this. Because I had in my head also, there's this, you know, okay, so I don't know if you all know this. I'm old, so I remember this. There was this Robin Hood series back in the 1980s where they had someone dress up with these deer antlers, and was sort of the vessel for the god Hern, which was kind of a they were using as sort of a variant, I think, on Cernunnos or some other Celtic legends possibly, so I was thinking in terms of that. I was thinking in terms of, like, you know, hunt deities, that sort of thing. And so that's part of the reason why I picked this image. I was like, oh, you can bend it in that direction too. And then so I just decided to. I was like, well, I don't want to call it the deer. I don't want to call it the stag. This is the horned creature. And I'm like, hey, this actually, I feel like this is closer to the mood that I was looking for this game, because, like I said, there's some inspiration that I'm getting from the recent adaptation of The Green Knight. But I wanted something that can go in that direction if you want. This can still just be a deer. But it could be many other things now, and I see if you call it the horned creature, then that's gonna pull up more associations. And so, like, that then led to this happening, where this is now the scaled beast. I have no idea if I should really be doing this with this game or not. But, you know, we'll see. This very strange game design. And I ended up calling this the swarm. This group of bats, ended up calling them the swarm. And I, of course, with the book, I ended up calling that the tome instead of the book. Because it's like with these, I kind of I want something that's evocative, but maybe is a little more vague than the solid thing that it is necessarily. Maybe not in all cases, because I want something. Because maybe if the thing itself is nebulous, then it can just be what it is, or if it's used for a lot of things. But I kind of like these. I kind of do. I haven't decided fully yet. I'm still kind of on the fence as to whether I want to do this or not in this way. But I'm thinking, you know, that's what these different iterations are for. We can give it a try. So I think I am going to try to lean weirder with them. I don't know if I should do that with all of them. And so that's kind of where I'm looking with, for example, this. I called it the bird because I wanted it to be a generic bird. I didn't want it just... I didn't want people to think, okay, it has to be a seagull. And this, you know, this seemed more generic looking than any of the other birds, because there were so many silhouettes of birds, but they were a little too narrowing, I thought. But now I'm like, Do I want to call this something for the purpose of it being slightly more mysterious or slightly more arcane? Do I want to just call this the bird, or do I want to call it something else? And I need to figure that out, because I think the bird itself might be a little too mundane. I could call it like the gull. But I need, I feel as though I need more pseudonyms. I feel as though I need more synonyms. Synonyms. And unfortunately, thesaurus.com is letting me down. Because it's just giving me foul game and feathered creature. I could call it the flight. I could go with the flight. That might work. Not sure what I think of that. But raptor? Raptor might be cool. I don't know if that applies to all birds. Like 15 more rows of this, apparently. Flying animal. Feathered creature. And a lot of these are very specific, specific things. But, a bird of prey, eagle, hawk, falcon, or owl. And yeah, this is not necessarily... Again, I wanted to widen it. I didn't want to make it that, so I could just... I guess I could pull back. This is a very specific definition. You have the flight, which could be a flight of birds. This is like the best one I can think of, I think, for this, if I want to get weird and obscure. If anyone has any more interesting ideas, please let me know. But I guess I'm gonna go with that for now. I don't want to hang and do this for too long today. I'm gonna be doing... It'll do. You think it'll do? Yeah, that's cool. As I'm going to be doing... I'm going to switch to some gaming in a little bit. But I want to get some of this done at least. Because I've been trying to get this done for a week or so now. I'm like, I may as well. I'll take this opportunity. And we have... let's see, that one we did an alternate for. This one we have not done an alternate for. The bow might be fine here, actually. That one is... I feel like items like this can be applied across so many different things. I think I'm actually okay with just calling this the bow. I'm not entirely sure why, but I feel like that, yeah, I think that does work as it is. So, the bull. The bull gets used in so many... The bull is used across so many different things in and of itself. The bull might actually work by itself. I think I can probably leave that as is. Because it's the only other word I could think of like on it was like charging juggernaut or some such thing. And so it's like there are... So the bull might be okay. I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna leave this one open. in case I think of anything better. The coins. I think that's probably going to work by itself. The lucre, the treasure. I don't know. The treasure doesn't do necessarily. I think that's a little too narrowing. This one I ended up calling the compass rose. And yeah, you're already going on a trip. This I think can be applied fine. I think this will be okay. Let's see, what did I do here? Oh, I have a 902. Oh, wait, yeah. So the cup I ended up turning into, this was the cup, this is now the vessel. I did not want to call it the Grail, because of the very specific Arthurian reference that the Grail is. I think the vessel is a neutral enough term for this. And more interesting than the cup. And so that leads me to the ones I haven't done yet. And so I've got to plunge back into 0.3. Ah, here we are. I believe this was meant to be a desert. And I think that can be applied across a number of things. I think I'm good with just calling that the desert. I'm not gonna agonize over each one of these right now, necessarily, but you know, it's not terrible. Okay, I think this could be the desert. Let me see. I have to be careful to use there we go. Okay. Gotta kind of eyeball it to put it on the same part of the page. Because I think deserts can mean a lot of different things. The idea of one. So I think that works. It was for things like this, like terrain, where it's like, what is this exactly that I am looking at? It's a desert. And, you know, this kind of helps. Let me go ahead and close these others. Okay, we already know about that one. I'm going to save this in 0.4. And we're exporting that, as that's the one we're going to use. And we'll open the next one. Is 12. Ah! It's a dragon. I feel confident calling this a dragon. Although I already have the scaled beast. But that can mean a few different things. Dragons also can too. Dragons are their own category. Wait. I have to center it. Hang on. There we go. Okay. I think, yeah, that's... There are only so many words for what this is. I think there may be a snake in here somewhere also, so that's going to be its own thing. Many different ways of saying the same thing. No, it's 12:01 in this one. It's okay. All right. We'll go ahead and export that. We are looking now at 0.3, 13. This one is fire. May fit it in the window. Probably already good, but let's see. Fire is applicable to so many things right now. Do we want fire or flame? Ooh, the flame. That doesn't look bad. I think I might actually want to do the flame on this one. Yeah. I think that's slightly more evocative than the fire. Okay. 14. Number 14. This is a fish. Some of these animals are going to be the most challenging. I want it to be both generic and not generic at the same time. Oh, did I actually? Did I put that on the first try? In the right spot? Yay! Okay. So... I don't know. The fish. Ooh. It's difficult, right? I have to figure out how I feel about that. Because, like, what do you call... Now this is the verb that it's showing me. Hmm. "76 synonyms of fish." That's way too many. No, and these are giving me neither. No, I just need this aquatic beast. A cold-blooded vertebrate animal that lives in water. Marine life, sea creature, marine animal, creature of the deep. I think we're gonna have to break away from this animal in the description. Kind of like we did with the bird. Bird we did the flight. This, I feel like calling this the swim is perhaps doing it an injustice. What is it to... What sort of things does one do when one is swimming about, breathing underwater? For those of you who may be watching that have gills, any thoughts? I don't know. Do you get Twitch in Atlantis? Let's see. It would be nice if there were an interesting odd term for a being that lives in water. Aquatic. Oceanids. No, those are specific creatures in Greek mythology. Not those. Like the oceanic being. So, I mean, we could... No. Let's see. So, I could break it down to types of fish. If, I can't come up with something else. Or, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and try hitting the thesaurus once again. Yeah, these synonyms for swim are that thesaurus.com is giving me apply only to human swimming. Archaic term for fish. Odd. And then it gets into other things. Yeah, this one's gonna be... This one I'm gonna have to... I'm just gonna set aside for right now. We're gonna leave it as the fish for now, and then I'm gonna leave that open because I gotta figure out what I really want that one to be. But in the meantime, let me open the others. Start opening some of the others. I'll come back to it. This is a rose, I think. Or it could be. It's a flower. But I think if I decide that... Actually, this is not a rose, is it? What type of... This is a generic flower. Well, I mean, it says... I mean, the thing says has rose in the description. I think this is vague enough we could call this a rose. We don't see any thorns on it. But I think we could call it a rose. And it would be okay. We don't know what to call it, so instead we're calling it a fish. No. Where is it? Slightly higher up? There we go. Let me see. It could be rose or more generic flower. Yeah. I think that I think that rose is a tiny bit more evocative than flower for the purpose of this game. But yeah. This is number 15 still. All right. Let's see. 16. Ooh. I know what I want this to be. This is the gate, and that works just fine, I think, by itself. We're going to save that here and export it. Let's go 17. Ah. Ah. I mean, I think hammer is probably okay for this one. You can use that to mean a number of things. Here's something is troubling me about it, but I think it's probably okay. It's sort of hammer you use with an anvil or some sort of, you know, it's a kind of tool. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Yeah, this is all very much, that's the thing, is it's all very much sort of off of the feelings and associations and where does the brain go. And very tricky trying to set that kind of thing up. Next. Oh, wait a minute. Save? Yes? Did we not? Oh, we did that. Okay, we're good. Did I not save it where it's supposed to be? I did. Okay, good, good. I saw the little asterisk up there and I was like, what did I do? Alright. Thought I already saved it. So 17, 18. This is a lyre, I think. And it says harp. Isn't this a lyre? Do people know what a lyre is? I mean, if they see this, then they'll probably know. Let me verify. Okay. Yeah. I know you know what a lyre is. No, I actually like the idea of calling it a lyre because, I mean, there's a picture of it. I can't expect much more. I just gotta figure out if I'm gonna... How badly are we confusing everyone? Oh, wait, I forgot to check the positioning. Eh. No. No. There we go. No. No, it's no. No, I can count on you to know a lot of these things because you are awesome that way. I think the thing is, if I just call it the harp, that feels weird, but not in a good way to me, you know? I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. It just doesn't really... It feels like a little too on the nose for this one in particular. I think I like calling it the lyre. I think we can go... I think we can work with that. If they can't figure out what this is from the picture, then, well, then that's an issue. But I guess we'll deal with that when we come to it. In any case, I mean, yeah, then that would have defeated the purpose of the card in the first place. I'd need to replace the whole thing. May as well call it a lyre. Who am I? What am I doing? This is number 18. Grab number 19. Must stay focused. Ah. This is the mysterious blood pumping organ. which I think is just fine as is. I got into this, it's just I get into this, I thought this was going to be a simple thing, and then I get into this meta area where I'm calling things that are things that are not quite what the things are, but that are also close to what the things are, and it's very strange, and I think I skipped one. That's number 18. I forgot to turn that into a JPEG. There we go. Okie doke. Let's see. Where am I? I don't know where I am. I am here. So this is one of those interesting ones because I feel like there are certain terms here that could work just fine. And there are multiple terms that could work just fine. I could just call this the horse, and I think that I can call it a day. I could also call it the steed if I wanted to. But that also feels a little... I want to leave certain things a little more open. I'm going to call this the horse. The horse is fine. Let's see. Ah! The Haas. What am I doing? All right. Point 3. Ah. This works as the island. I'm pretty sure it's centered, but I'm doing it just in case. Because I can't stop myself. So many things. Okay, save that in 0.4. Okay. 22. So number 22 is going to be... That's going to be very specific. If I remember right, this was a dagger originally, and I didn't think it was clear enough that it was a dagger, and now this is very specifically an assassination. Here's the original image that I had for it, and I think I was worried that people were going to confuse this too much with the sword. The image of the sword that I showed earlier. But now I could just call it a dagger and call it a day. If I keep... Yeah, I know, right? Is this a dagger I see before me? I'm not sure. This is more of a knife. This is a dagger. That's not a knife. This is a knife. I'm not sure. Could make it shorter. The dagger? Well, the thing about it is if I leave it at this, then I can just now call it the dagger, and that'll be fine, is what I'm thinking. Also, hello, welcome to the chat. I think it's like if I keep it as this is a compelling image to me, but it's much more specifically to an assassin. And so it's a possibility. A dagger can be used both for a thief and an assassin, you see. It was sort of kind of the way that my brain was going. Yeah, put it at a different angle. I can do that. Put it at a jaunty angle. What am I doing? That's the wrong one. I want that one. I just rotate it slightly. That actually doesn't look bad. That also... I think that also says more, actually, putting it... I like that. Thank you, Prax. I like that idea. Oh, you want it down? Oh, you want it inverted? Let me see if I can... You know what the weird thing is? I always have to, like... You mean inverted that way or up and down? I have to always do it. I have to do it inverted for some reason. For some reason, I don't know why. I have to flip it before I can get the command to flip it vertically. I have to flip something horizontally, and then it kicks in and understands. Grip downwards impression. Oh yeah, we could do that. Ah, like that. Left to right. I kind of like right to left. I like it. I like it. Might want to even make it a tiny bit. We want to do it more. That's too much. Now that's good. I don't know why that's good. But it's like if I rotate it too much, then my brain starts thinking of it as a syringe, and I'm not exactly sure why. But this angle I might be able to work with. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Do I want to make it smaller? And just enough to make you think it's not a sword. Yeah, and that's kind of the wait a minute. Crop the content here so that I can... Hey, Hawkeye! Doing a little bit of pseudo-chill design on the game that I'm doing. I can see that working. Let me go ahead and move it over. Did I not center the island? I didn't center. I'll overwrite that. Replace it. It's like it never existed. There, I feel like that's compelling. In some way. Yes, I do use GIMP. Because Photoshop required money. So it's when I started streaming. And I wanted to be able to make overlays, and so I taught myself how to use GIMP to a certain extent. I can't do the fanciest of tricks on it, but I've been using GIMP for a few years now. And this is what I make my overlays with. Let's see. There is this weird thing where my brain wants to turn this into a syringe, and I don't understand. Like, if I wanted to get silly, I could just do that. Or just replace it with the original again. I'm gonna keep it at this because, like, at the first moment, it was fine. I don't know if it's this, but let me just see if it's this. Maybe, I think I might have made it a little too small. Maybe. Let me, I know this is getting very specific. Let me see if I've got that image. Oh, I did things to it. Okay. This was the original image. Which obviously, you know what? I don't think that I don't think it's gonna go away anytime soon. This thing that I have in my head on it. But let me do a thing. Let me go ahead and see this through. Because I am curious anyway. Okay, so do that. There we go. Make it a tiny bit smaller. Not as small as the other one. You know what? That's true. I did play Sherlock Holmes the other day. I'm actually probably gonna play it again in a little bit here. How jaunty an angle do we want this at? I feel like that could work. Yeah, I think that could be good. I think that'll work. It's a very slight adjustment, right? But it's... I like it. I think I like it enough. I like it enough. This is 2202. This is that variant. I think this works. I think this works. Alright. Having agonized over the dagger, I shall now start grabbing the others. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. And again, the thing is that these even aren't going to be probably the final images, because I'm going to have to... some of these, I think, are... these are all royalty-free images, but the problem is that I think the site that I took some of these from is only allows their use for non-commercial uses, so I can use them while I'm designing the thing. But I'm gonna have to replace these with other images when when the time comes. Wrong, Jim. Wrong. No. Caption. We want the caption. So that's gonna be a thing. And being not of a huge amount of wealth, I'm probably going to still go for royalty-free stuff, but I'm gonna actually go to one of the sites that you pay a little bit. And then perhaps if there is a second edition and I can actually afford to do an artist, afford to do a Kickstarter for an artist or something, then that might happen. But who knows? Is the lion rampant? No, I leave it as the lion. That's fine. I think this is fine. You know, if I can afford to do something where I have an artist come in, that would be awesome. But that's not currently. And also, the thing is, I don't ever really see myself. I mean, you know, never say never, but I don't see myself doing a Kickstarter because I have backed many a Kickstarter, and I know what Kickstarter backers are like. I have seen so many comments on so many Kickstarters. But surely on itch you can find appropriate images. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just depends. Just depends. Yeah, with artists, I have to. It's just going to be a cost comparison thing when I eventually do it, as to whether or not I use an artist or if I use stock images. That's what it's going to come down to. But anyway, this is the lion. Did I already save it? I already saved it. Did I already export it? I did already export it. Okay, good. That fish is gonna haunt me. Anyway. Anyway. Yeah, that's the main thing, is having to ask them to do like 46 images. That's the thing where it's the cost comes in, and you know, if I hire someone, I'd want to actually pay them decently, you know. I appreciate the offer, Unstable Dios. You know, we shall see. Okay, this I think we can just call the mask. Okay. That's good. Of course, that can mean any number of things. It's 24. We want 25. Ah, yes. This is the one symbol that that I threw in here that I was not as certain how far back it goes. But I thought that it would be... Yeah, I think, you know, a bit of license is acceptable. Oh, you used to run an Avatar website. Oh, cool. Awesome. I wonder if this is like the one time when I break with my naming convention. Better than that one too, right? Yeah. I did, I'm just paranoid. No, no, the healer. That works. Okay. Let's see. This is 26. Ah! This is a meteor. The chariot of fire. Yes. The fire chariot. The sky chariot. I think I also have stars in a separate one because I think I split them out. So I don't know if I can call this a shooting star or a star related word or not. Let me check through here. Yeah. Now, I mean, like... It's possible. If only because there are associations in, like, you know, the Dungeons and the Dragons. The spells with the word meteor in them, that kind of thing. So, I mean... We probably... let me do another little etymology search. The history of the word meteor is derived. The word meteor is derived from the Latin meteorum, from the Greek meteoron. It is a plural meaning atmospheric phenomena or anything in the heavens. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that works. We're good. All right. I think we're good. I do like the fire chariot, but... The fire chariot. The Armageddon. The other thing could be to call it a comet. If we wanted to. Which might be more fun, actually. I mean, it's clearly heading downward. Now, obviously, it's not accurate for, we call a meteor a comet, but we could call this one. Comets also have longer tails, though. You could call it the fireball. That's a little too... Watsu would have issues bringing any lawsuits surrounding the meteor as rights infringement. Well, I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just thinking, are there any more exciting words I would like to use for this? Because of its use in other things. You would call it judgment? Nice. And again, I just don't know if I want to break with my naming convention yet. But I think this is okay for now. I may want to call it something else later. This isn't as bad as the fish. I'm okay with the meteor for now. Yes. What time is it? 5:30. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. Not that I have to be anywhere right this moment, but... 27. Okay. This is the moon. That one's simple enough. Okay. Ah. Ah. The mountain. This is Everest specifically for anyone who's curious. But that's absolutely fine. Let's see. No! Number 28. Okay. $29. Okay, this one is going to be interesting because we have a few choices here as to how we'd want to proceed. I have a few different options. Because it's a needle, obviously. If I call it the needle, that will open up some possibilities, because there are associations there. But it can also be like a tailor, which that name also has a number of different meanings. Oh, you like symbology a lot? Symbology is good. Good for us. Helps us say 1,000 words real fast. So we have the needle, which can mean several things. We have the tailor, which means more specific things, but there are a lot of things associated with it. I think I might actually want to go with the needle. Unless there's some sort of more vague, sort of representational thing involving sewing, the act of sewing that might, the raveler. No, that's something else entirely. A pin! The stitch. Oh, hey, Void Smoker, hey, how's it going? The stitch. Oh, I see what you're saying there. I do see what you're saying there. That does have a certain thing to it. Let me briefly go synonym hunting real quick for a few different things. Fasten, sew, baste, join, suture. As we get even further afield. With other associations. It's interesting. I'm kind of... I mean, I think I'm still leaning, more toward needle, but let me see. T is annoy. No, wait, that's the right... Once again, the thesaurus is not helping. The thesaurus site. Okay, clothier, costumier, costumer, dressmaker, outfitter, fit, adjust, modification, conversion, quadrate, the square, the suit. You know what? I think I'm gonna. I think probably gonna stick with needle. Because I feel like that's got the broadest potential, but while still seeming interesting enough, you know? I mean, I liked... The stitch is interesting. It does move things in a very... in kind of a more particular direction. But it could work. But I think for this and the feel I'm going for, I think I'm going to keep the needle for now. But this can always change. I do like that. Because there are different ways you can twist it to mean different things, and you can get quite a lot of metaphors out of it. Let's see. We've made it into the 30s, almost. Well, depending on when you start counting. Okay. This actually, yeah, this actually I can do. Not too much trouble. This is the prayer, I think. The penitent? Ooh. I see what you're going for there. See, that's helpful when you're dealing with a person, but if you want it to apply more generally, I think it can work. The supplicant. Ooh. See, I was just going to go with prayer, but I'm looking at this. Yeah, you actually can... I think you can do more with supplicant. The request? Wait, Hawkeye, are you suggesting the request, or are you suggesting that or do you have a request? You reject any of my ideas, I don't know. I'm just, yeah. But I was considering the penitent. It's like, because it works, it's not bad, it works. Oh, the request, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. The request. I got me a request. I think I'm gonna go with the supplicant for now. I like that a lot because it's sparking more things for me in my brain, in my noggin. Yeah, and also there is absolutely nothing personal in any of these things that I'm either taking or leaving, because it's just wherever the neurons go, basically at this point. Where are my neurons? Where did I hide them today? The appeal? I like it as a general thing. I don't know if I like it for this, just because the appeal, because, and I know you can bend that in a few different ways, but it does take it a little too far down. It closes off, I think, a few too many avenues for, whereas this is something that you can use a lot more generally, I think, and I do like that for this in particular. It's even more general than a prayer, is what I'm sort of saying here. As you can still use it as one. But no worries, it's your game, you know what fits better. I don't know! I don't know anything! I'm not sure. But, they're good ideas. They're good ideas. I just got this. I'm kind of having to go on feel for a lot of this. Sort of how I kind of want the game to feel. Well. I guess I never fixed that one. This rat is too well defined. Let me check on something here. Wait a minute. I have a rat in 0.2 was kind of all over the place. Though, to be fair. Yeah, I'm not gonna... Yeah, let's not worry. The vermin. Tricky. Why did I think this was... Let me check something. Let me check my listings here. Did I use the correct rat? No, they're all like that. Okay. The unclean! The hidden. It does depend on the theme a lot. I gotta be careful with these whiskers. Oh, crap. Although, wait a minute. No, that works. Or it doesn't. Yeah, thereabouts, I think, is what we want. Ah, why does it... So if I put it there... That is strange. This ear vexes me. Huh. Yeah, this is where it gets to points where there are tools that I do not know how to use. Not nearly as well, anyway. No. There. Okay. Now that we have sufficiently... Now that we have sufficiently darkened our rat, let me go ahead and move this up here. There we go. Okay. So... the rat. I mean, the rat works. The vermin... I do also like the vermin. The familiar. The trouble is that so many of these could be familiars, right? There's so many animals in here. I think for now, the only thing is that how negative a lot of folks will take vermin, because we don't necessarily. The rat could be. Yeah, vermin is more amorphous. That's true. But I mean, you can also take this into a number of metaphors. There are a lot of things surrounding the idea of a rat. It's really weird trying to figure out what's, you know, what's vague enough and what's specific enough. The vermin. We'll try it with vermin. We'll try it with vermin. I'm coming around on vermin. Though I know someone who probably would not like to see me describe this as a vermin. Because, you know, I know people who keep rats. For their pets. Ah! This is a rock. So funny thing, back when I was trying to do this initially, I was trying to find something to represent Earth. And I couldn't find any images that really seemed to get that across as well as I could without it being like the freaking globe, and I didn't necessarily want this to be confined to our Earth. So I ended up picking a rock. Now, rocks have a number of interesting associations in and of themselves also, so it's possible to just call it the rock. I think it would be weird to call it the Earth, the blessing of the land, the hard place. No, that's the thing on the other side of this, you see. The core. Yeah, it's hard to work that out. Hard to work that out. I'm gonna keep it at rock for now, I think. There are a number of things. There are a number of things about rocks that you can turn into other things. Rock isn't bad. Yeah, exactly. The Dwayne Johnson. Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that there are reasons why he chose that name, right? Being a rock, as solid as a rock, you know. That goes back quite a ways. So the only way I think to go with this would be to go more vague, right? To turn it into something like the adamant or something weird like that. Not too bad, actually. but probably confusing. We'll keep it at rock for now. Oh, he chose it because his dad was Rocky Johnson? Oh, okay. Oh, that's another way to do that. Let me see. I know very little about wrestling. Let me see. I have friends who watch it. I've not really ever delved into it much. Here we go. This one's simple, I would think. Turn that into a lot of things. It can mean a lot of things. Shield. Shield, I think, is good for this. Yeah, resistance seems too abstract, yes. Going back and playing with rock because I thought of foundation, but then like, but you know, you can't really throw a foundation quite as well as you can throw a rock. Could I fill the shield in to differentiate it from the background? Somewhat, I think. But it depends which bits we want, because I guess it depends which bits we want to be the shiny bits. There are a few of these that are transparent. Let me see here. Not the rivet sections, but the open fields. Yeah. That's not bad. I actually, and the funny thing is, you know, it left these out, but I kind of like that actually. That sort of little layer of definition there. These little sort of the borders. I think that works. Yeah, no, that's cool. That works. Yeah, it does read better. Cool. All right, let's see. I've been at this for 2 hours. 34. Ah! The voyage. I see where you're going with that. Yeah. I was originally thinking about this as the ship, but at the same time, because I was, I was getting slightly nautical, but the voyage works for that. And also, The journey. Well, the journey is even more general, but no, I like the voyage. I do like the voyage for this one, actually. Because it's... Because there are certain things. Yeah. You can still extract it to other things. Well, the tone of this whole thing just changes when you add captions. Let's see. $34, $35. And this, once again, I have to decide if I want to break with my naming convention and call this Death. Very specific. This is a very specific voyage. Very specific journey. The ending. The end. The finality. There are a lot of options here. Because I think, yeah, yeah. Rest seems ironic. I mean, just calling it the skull would be a little prosaic, I guess. The inevitability. Inevitability. The final reward. There are so many metaphors for death. It's definitely, this one is definitely one to chew on. There are a lot of different associations one can play with. So if I were to step just slightly outside of the skull, I mean, you know, the bones could be possible. This is one there are going to be way too many possible options. Death. The demise. The dying. Ooh. That's something else. The expiration. The extinction. The quietus. Oblivion. final rest. The eternal sleep. The grave. Actually. The grave, the tomb. Huh. Hmm. What do you think what the good, powerful image here is? Ah! I actually kind of like the tomb. Because when paired with this image, it kind of works to give... Basically, I was thinking about necromancers when I picked the skull. But then also, you know, just sort of death in general, right? Sort of death themes. And I think that, like, there's a certain point where if you go too far into trying to come up with associations for a skull, then you start tumbling into... How do I put this? You start tumbling into kind of areas that are a little harder to wrap around to what you're looking for, to something to apply to as a prompt for these kinds of things that I'm looking at. It's you can still do it, but it's the decayed. Yeah, that's interesting. Like you can still do it, but it's... So like if you start talking about the afterlife or the eternal reward or that kind of thing, then it's kind of a thing where you have to imagine things about the passage of death, the passage of time even there. The inevitability, things like that are very general. And if I don't want to call it death, which I could, the one card that I don't have a "the" in front of it, it's just death. I think I'm going to keep it as the tomb for now because that still feels like a strong image to me. But I may come back and revisit this one. Save it first. Here we go. Okay. We're getting there. We're almost there. $35, $36. Snack. This one, yeah. So you have anticipated me. I do want to call this the Serpent. Or religiously the cursed. Okay, yes. Did I not save the... Okay. Okay. There are a few different things we could do with this one. So this one is interesting because, again, there are a few different directions we could go in. We could do the blizzard. I kind of am wanting the snowflake to be a snowflake here, but I could just call it the cold and have done with it. It actually feels more interesting to me to just lead to make this the cold. It's hard. I can't, because I now have the season of winter at the end of this, but I think, yeah, the cold. I like the cold. Also, for those of you who have not seen it, go forth and look at a game called To Serve Her Wintry Hunger. It's very good. I'm going to go ahead and save that here. The Baron. Yeah. I'm going to stick to the cold for now. Let's see. 37, 38 is next. May have to adjust the size of these. Now, these I kind of just want to call the stars, and I'll tell you why. Because I would like there to be the option, if people so choose, when they are first setting a game of this up, to have this take place in space. I could call it the heavens. That does work. Although, yeah, the stars showing it. I might actually go with the heavens. The stars is kind of on the nose. At the same time, I mean, you know, it's right where it is. Actually, no, you know, I think I can, you know what, the heavens will work. The heavens will work. Let's see, 39. Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be like a storm cloud. You could just call it the storm. Yeah, that's good. Okay. This one also, much like the moon, this one will be simple. The ball of plasma. Okay. 41. We're almost there! I know I said that quite a while ago. The sun seems too on point. And how many cultures associated with life and other things. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can get out of the sun. So that's what I'm saying. I think for the purpose of this, it works. It's a symbol. It's already a symbol. I don't need to do much to it. So this is that image, that picture I was talking about before. So this is meant to be a swamp. And this, I think, is the hardest card to... This card is probably part of the reason why I'm doing this in the first place. And I mean, one could go with the mire. But I think that... oh, the quagmire? Yeah. Is a possibility, but I think the bog, the bog. So, on the one hand, yes. On the other hand, I also know what this term is used for. That term is used for in Europe. Besides just the original definition. So I think for this one I am just going to leave it at the swamp. Because it's like, you know, I mean, the bog... like, works if you keep your brain in a... If you keep your brain on the one track, this works. Alas, players. The muck farm does seem too silly, yeah. I know, there's like, you know, there's the fen, there's the moors. The moor actually could work. Possibly. Well, you gotta be careful. I don't know, it's possible. It's possible. There are a few other things that sort of that one deals with there. Oh, you're afraid to Google other meanings? Yeah. It happens. It's not that. It's not. Yeah, it's not horrible. It's just, you know. Swamp. Okay. I think we can keep this as the sword. And I think that'll be fine. The sword is like one of the biggest symbols you find in this kind of thing. Yeah, sword has got a lot of meanings already. Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're in the home stretch. That's right, I wanted there to be a volcano. A calamity. It's hard to call this anything other than a volcano. Dang it. Yeah. What do you think about this? Volcano. I mean, there is a certain... That could work. It is a stereotypical cone volcano. Yeah. Alp, bluff, butte, elevation, eminence. Just thinking about it as mountains in thesaurus.com. That's the other thing, is that, you know, the word volcano itself, I mean, it comes from Vulcan. River of lava. I think we'll keep it at volcano for now. I don't think we have to worry about that one too much. The portent. The sleeping calamity. The omen. I mean, could do worse than that. Volcanoes were lived near because of their rich soil, even though the cultures knew of the deadly danger. Yeah. I think I do want to keep this as volcano for now, because this is a carryover from, you know, what kind of kingdom do you want? And I liked the idea of being able of having that exact thing, right? People live near a volcano because of the rich soil. And so there's connotations, there's things that we can actually that play with that specifically that I think could work. This is 44. Where is 43? Let me recheck on 43. Do I not have a 43 in here? I have a 44. Oh, wait. No, that's because... Let me go back. Let's see. 43. I have a 43. Oh, there we go. Volcano. This is a tree. Oh, hey, first time. Okay. It was right on the first try. So... the coming harvest. Fecundity. I mean, the tree already also is used as a symbol for a lot of things. I think this could work just by itself. I think I like it as just a tree right now. Sometimes a tree is just a tree. Alright. Let's see. Wait, no, cancel. Wrong. Wrong! Go there. Then save. It does. What good is chat if you're getting no more ideas? That's fair. No, that's absolutely fair. That's absolutely right. That's that is I am enjoying hearing all of the different options, and so I do appreciate it. Let's see. That was 43. We did 44. 45. Here we go. I'm thinking the waves on this one. It's kind of like I had a fire symbol and a water symbol. You know what, though? The sea... I don't have the sea yet. See, this is where it gets interesting. I could go with the sea, right? What's, the sea or the ocean or something along those lines. The thing is, I still got this damn fish to figure out. And I think that might work much better over here. Because this fish has been plaguing me. It's number 14. It's been plaguing me for 30 plus cards. Oh, we had a shift since then. The trout. It has so many. The trout. I was trying to figure out something for this fish. I mean, I do like the trout. Where are... Let me check. Let me check something. Freshwater fish. I like the trout a lot, but like it is a freshwater fish and I didn't want to necessarily limit it, because what I'm saying is that that's going to be a thing that people are going to, if they know that, then they'll... The distant shore. So something before we go too far afield here, like I could just call this the water, and that actually might work. Whereas the fire didn't. This, well, I mean, it did kind of, was on the nose. This is not as on the nose, I think, because of this symbol, because of the way the symbol looks. Like fire is easy to spot, water is not as easy to spot. Or there are options. The salmon. Like the waters. Or the waves was kind of where I was going initially. The salmon. There's that kind of angles it in too specific a direction. I think I do like the sea for this one. If this one is just the water. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Salmon travel long distances, returning to their birth waters to spawn and die. And I mean, it's good imagery. The thing is, that it's also, yeah. I want to kind of. I think I like these. I think I like these. I think we can do that. Because it's like if I have that both, in this we've got a general one and a slightly more specific one. Which I don't think I had a place for 14 in here yet, because I just left it. I left it hanging. I left my fish hanging. Left the fish hanging there, and didn't never actually let it, never let it know what its place was. Alright. Okay. That's good. We have one more. The wolf! I think calling this the wolf is definitely what I want for this one. It's too useful a symbol. Yeah, the wolf is too useful a symbol for me to, I think, go in a different direction for this one. The Call? I too have read Jack London. Anyway. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Wolf. I kind of want to... this font. It's better. I've been doing this for almost 3 hours now. Dang it! I ended up hyper-focusing! Don't know if I got the energy in me to do that. Okay, let me see here. Do anything else at this point. That works. Let me do the same thing with the car, but I mean, you know, we got this done. Wasn't sure how far we were gonna get. Yes. Did we already do this one? We did. Okay. We are done. So, the bull I think I'm just going to keep as the bull. And once again, we have the horned creature. The thing that started this whole thing. Because I didn't just want to call it a deer, and then and thus we went down this whole thing. Not the stag. No, I didn't want to use stag. Because that's very specifically a male deer. And I know a bull is a male cow. Doesn't feel quite as... It's hard to explain. Sort of why there are... Roebuck. Roebuck? Yeah, it's possible. But, no, I explained about the horned creature specifically, though, because it, I was close to using stag, but then the thing is that I also wanted to open this up a little bit further because of this specific image that I used and the idea that you can have other things. This actually gets a little closer to the image I was trying to bring around than stag does, strangely enough. Okay. These things are done. And that means that all I will have to do shortly, sometime soon, is just import these into Roll20 so that I can do my next round of playtesting. And we have version 0.4 of 1 year hence. Awesome! Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. I've been hanging out here for several hours. And I actually have a call coming up later. So I'm not going to actually get around to adventure gaming today. I'm sorry, folks. I thought I was going to do it, but that's I was going to jump to like the Sherlock game again or what have you, but I've gone too late. But I appreciate you folks hanging out and watching me watching me try to slam my head into the wall for over how I want to finish up this this game. The best game word association you played in a while. Oh, cool! Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, no, this was fun. This was fun. I enjoyed bouncing it back and forth between you folks. So thanks so much for that. I shall go ahead now. Let us head back here. Thank you all very much for hanging out. I very much appreciate it. I have no idea when I'm going to make this game available. For now, I'm just doing playtests, and we'll see. We'll see. It may never be done. I don't know. I hope it is done someday. But I think we're getting closer to the version that I of this game that I want it to be. I think. The last playtest I did, I just when I separated the game into acts, that sparked some things for me. When we did that playtest, it worked in a way that actually it didn't work in a way that it allowed me to see kind of more what I wanted to do with the formula of the whole thing. And so that's why I've broken it now into 4 acts, and I can turn those into seasons, which works out nicely. I have taken out a lot of the cards that we sort of were calling visitations of, you running into people. And that's the thing, in the legend of the Green Knight, Gawain runs into a bunch of people and a bunch of things. But I think for this game, that didn't work out as well. In terms of like it's because you have more that you want the players to be able to define more about what's going on, and you're limiting the channels if you have them run into too many people on their way there. It's the last playtest we got, it really brought that into sharp relief, because I had all of the visitations happening in the last 2 acts, and it was like, you're meeting a lot of people right now, so I'm like, let me chop that down. There is still a fair number, but it's much less than it was before, so I'm excited to see how the balance goes now. I may take out even more people, we'll see. Right now I've got like 3 per act, I think, ish, in the cards themselves, and we'll sort of see how that goes. So I'm going to do more playtests soon. We'll figure out how I'm doing those. I'm going to announce those in various places, and we'll see how that goes. Yes. So we have that. I'm interested to see what it is. Yes. Thank you all very much for hanging out. So where are we? Today is Thursday. So we do not have Invisible Sun on Saturday because we only have the finale left, and that's going to be on the 22nd. So we've still got a few more weeks before we hit that. What is this Saturday? Yeah, so 2 weeks from Saturday. We unfortunately could not play Zork today because Lucci couldn't make it, so that's why I ended up doing this. So we're doing that in 2 weeks. We're going to get back to Zork 2. For the next week or so, not as much going on directly. We're finally starting to sort of get our thoughts together for Don't Rest Your Head. That's going to be coming up later in the month. But we're scheduling our sessions zero because we've got multiple groups. So we'll see what happens there. This is going to be an interesting experiment. I'm just going to say that the Don't Rest Your Head game I have coming up, because it's a single campaign, but I've got multiple groups in it and multiple phases with different groups also. So we'll see how that goes. I only plan for it to run through like the spring, I think, probably. It's going to be longer than a short campaign. But we'll sort of see how it goes and have their interactions between the groups, and we'll see what happens. So that's a thing that's happening. Dune is getting ready to happen. It's gonna be coming up on. Did we figure out the date? I think we did. It's going to be on a Wednesday. I think the 19th. I believe so. In less than 2 weeks, we've got that coming up. I think the stream premiere of that thing. I will double check, but I believe that's when it's happening. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna quote this now. We're gonna quote this this exact moment of me saying that, and then we'll come back next year and see. We'll come back next fall and see if the game is still running. Because man, don't want it to get too out of hand. I enjoy Don't Rest Your Head, but I do want to run other things. Let's see. Let me check my calendar. Yeah, so right now, yeah, Dune, first Dune stream session's going to be on the 19th, so in less than 2 weeks. And then we have the premiere of that. Hopefully Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, we will get back to Cult Divinity Lost. If we have the people. Real life has been seriously punching us in the gut for the last month or so. We'll see if we can get back to it. And that, I think, is everything that is coming up in the near future. In the meantime, when I have the space to do it, I'm gonna be back playing the video games I've been playing. I've been playing The Testament of Sherlock Holmes. I'm gonna be getting back to that, and I'm building a City of Canals and City of Skylines. I also have what I guess is an early edition, because I backed to Kickstarter. I have the what I guess they call the early access version of The Wandering Village, and I guess I should probably play that at some point. People have been kind of poking at me to do that, so I might try to get that in there somewhere, maybe, if I can. I want to try it out. It's just there's only so much time, right? So we'll see. We'll see how things go. But that, I think, is everything. Those are all the things that are happening. The video games are happening at random, aside from, you know, the text adventures, which are every other Thursday. And the games happen at the times and dates that I have specified. Or the dates I have specified. The times, I always go a little easy on time, because that's the one decision I made for mental health when I started this channel in the first place, was don't sweat the time. But, you know, roughly, we try to do things at we have a target, we try to hit that target. But, when we hit the end card, let's see, Trooper's doing stuff. We might go and say hi to them. Let me see how far in they are, and if they're having to leave soon or not. No, they just started. We'll go say hi to them. Feel free to hang on if you're so inclined and say hi to them with us. That will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. This is great. I've never done a stream quite like this before. I enjoyed it. A working stream, as it were. I might do more in the near future. Do take care, and I will see you all of a sudden.